Equipment is the least important, but the equipment is the thing that many of us want to spend most of our time on, right? Because it's cool. And there's nothing wrong with that at all, right? It is cool. Guns are cool. Cool equipment is cool. And obviously there's a whole industry and hundreds of millions, if not billions and billions of dollars that are spent every year to be cool. And that's the case with lots of things. And there's nothing wrong with that. But understand that that is a hobbyist, cool guy thing, and it's not practical at all, right? It's not any different than, really anything else. Like if skiing is your thing, going out and buying, a $700 coat and $400 ski pants and, spending $2,000 on your skis, boots, and bindings can help you a little bit, but probably is not going to help you that much. And really what you need to do is spend your money on a season pass so you can go skiing all the time and take some lessons so you can be a better skier. And when it comes to evaluating equipment, the coolness factor is less important than the functional factor. So you should define what is your mission and what are you trying to accomplish, and does the equipment help to accomplish the mission, or does it take away from that, right? And some equipment is going to take away from that. Like too much stuff, too much cool stuff is probably going to take away from that, right? So if all your purpose is, I want to defend my house, and you have your, you're going to spend $40,000 on a rifle and a helmet and night vision and an IR laser and armor and everything, right? You can spend a whole lot of money getting the perfect optimized setup. Whereas, is that a good use of my resources on equipment? Instead of spending the money on a rifle and night vision and stuff, which realistically there could be some use for that depending on where you live. It's not total, it's mostly impractical, but not 100% impractical. But what about if you spent more money on your security system and on lighting and on, there are lots of things you could do to your house that is equipment stuff that leverages the actual tactics and skill, that increases your performance of tactics and skills for the specific situation of defending your house. That has nothing to do with spending money on cool guy Delta Force assaulter equipment, right? It has to do with outfitting your house so that it makes it harder for bad guys to break in, and when they do break in, it makes it more likely that you are successful. That makes sense, right? So oftentimes we focus on certain areas of equipment that don't make sense, but equipment is important because equipment can make your job a whole lot easier, right? On the one hand, some 6-shot black powder revolver, if I put that in the hands of someone who's really skilled, they might kill all of us, right? But if I give them an AR-15, their job's gonna be easier. Does that make sense, right? So it's not 100%, it's not completely divorced, equipment doesn't matter at all. It's just not as important. And we should recognize that and understand that.